Hello, hello, hello. This is Els coming to you from Beamish Crafty Corner, and I have a little project for you. Uh, this one right here. And what this is a box for ATCs. I know, right? But, I get a lot of these things, and people send them to me, or I make them or whatever, and I'm always looking for some place to put them. And I said, well, let me make this little box. So I made a little box, reinforced it here in the center, and you can see there's 3 ATCs in there. And so this thing's going to hold like, ooh, I would say, you don't need this in here. You could probably fit between 10 and 15 ATCs in here, depending upon how bulky they are up front. We're going to be doing a tuck closure on this one, just like that. And the great thing is that you can just stand these up side by side by side and have a collection of them. And you could mark them, like what month you got the ATCs or something in, or what they're about. Maybe you want to put different holidays in different boxes, however you want to do it. But I'm going to show you how to do this. And so let's get started with the list of supplies we're going to need. We're going to need a piece of heavyweight cardstock. Now this could be decorated cardstock or plain color, and then we can add some mats to it later, and I've gone ahead and put those measurements in the box below. You're going to need, if you do use the mats, you're going to need to have some scrapbook paper that you want to use. I'll be using some boho watercolor, and this is a very dark purple. We're going to be using our scoring tool, a scoring board, and of course a paper cutter. So let's go ahead and take a look at the paper that we're going to need to cut. Okay, so just to create the box, we're going to need 3 pieces of paper. All right, you're going to need 2 pieces that are 2.5 inches high and 1.5 inches wide, and then 1 piece that is 9 inches long by 3 3/4 inches wide. Okay, and we're going to do some scoring on this. So let's go ahead and cut down this piece to get our pattern, and we'll be right back. Okay, so I cut this down. Now, if you notice with the measurements, you're actually going to be able to get 3 of these out of 1 sheet of 12 by 12 paper. And you're going to have very little bit of waste, okay? So let me show you what I did here. I cut the first piece on my trimmer, and I simply cut a piece that was 3 3/4 inches by the 12. Then I cut it down to 9 inches. And then I was able to cut that piece down to my 2.5 by 1.5 inch squares. So let's get rid of this because we're not going to need it. And this is the only scrap we have. Waste, no waste. Yay. All right, so we're going to be making some score lines here. And I went ahead and put them in black so you guys could see them. So let's get the top of the scoreboard into view. Here we go. So we're going to be putting our first score at 2 3/4. And then we're going to go over 1 inch to 3 3/4. And then we're going to go 2 3/4 inches again over to 6.5, 1 inch over to 7.5, and then we'll have our flap that'll be about 1.5 inches long. Okay, so with the 9-inch piece in the 9-inch direction going across, we're going to make some scores. Okay, so the first one is 2 3/4, then 3 3/4, 6.5, and 7.5. Now, I'm going to put the measurements for this, of course, underneath at the bottom. And so you should have 4 lines across your page now. And this should look like this. Okay? So let's take a look at these little ones. So on these little ones, we are actually going to be scoring them 5 times. And that's at every 1/4 inch. So we're just going to put it in, and we're just going to come in 1/4 inch, and 1/4 inch, and 1/4 inch, and 1/4 inch, and then 1/4 inch. We're going to do that on both of these small pieces. So just every 1/4 inch. Don't freak out on me. I don't want to lose you yet. Okay, so 5 lines on these, 4 lines on the big piece, and we're ready to get started putting this together. And I'll be right back. I'm just going to get my bone folder out and get the scoreboard out of the way. All right, let's get the easy one out of the way. That's the large one. So what we're going to do is we're simply going to take this and we're going to fold at the score lines. We're going to make sure that our edges line up, and then just go across this with your bone folder. 2. And then we'll go get the other one, the inside, and this one here. All right, so we should have something that looks something like that. Okay, so now this piece here, this 1.5 inch piece on the end, I'm just going to hit that with my corner rounder because I'm going to be tucking this piece in. So I just want to kind of round my corners on that part there. Okay. And I'm going to put that to the side. Now, we all did this when we were kids. We're going to fan fold this back and forth, call it hill and valley, fan folding, accordion folding, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm just going to press this with my bone folder just to kind of help those fold. I'm going to do both pieces. All right. Thanks. Now, on the original one, I put this little piece in here that just kind of helps give this some stability inside. You do not need to put this in here, but if you want to put it in, I will put the directions for this in the description box, the measurements for it. But basically, you know, you just glue it in. I think it works either way, but it's entirely up to you. So let's go ahead and put this together. 3 pieces, guys. This is it, 3 pieces, okay? A little bit of glue. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these, and when you look at the hill and valley on these, you want to have the 3 valleys facing in to the inside of the box. So you want the open end here, the edge of the paper, to be facing in as well. So we're going to go ahead and put a little glue on this, and then we are going to take this piece and we're going to put it right here. And if you fold this down flat like this, then you can see this edge, and you just want to put it right against the edge, just right up against the edge of the box, okay? Make sure that you're inside top and bottom, and just give it a second to dry, and then do the other side, okay? Again, making sure that the open edge is facing in. And I want to kind of try and get this to match top and bottom on both sides. And it's right there, right on the edge. Press it down on both sides. Okay. Now, you should have a piece that looks like this. Got 2 little accordions on the side. Okay. So we're going to just put a little glue on the top here, on both sides. Now, remember, if you use double-sided sticky tape, it never dries, but you could use it to kind of hold this down for you. And then we're just going to press these, and all we're going to do is bring this top piece over. And we're just going to make sure that our little accordion on each side is all the way out to the edge. And you can use a flat surface like your work table to make sure that you're getting this in the right position, okay? Just like that. What I do is I use a couple of clamps just to help me out and hold it together while I go over to the other side and work on the other side. There we go. Come over here. Got this little bottom piece here that doesn't want to get connected. There we go. All right, so I'm going to put a couple of clamps on here. Let this all dry up really well, and I'll be right back to show you how to make those mats to add, okay? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start cutting some mats. Now, this is a great thing to use like your scrap paper for, or if you have a piece of cardstock like this where it has damage to it or miscolored, you can avoid that and use as much of the paper as possible. Now, I do want to make sure that I'm minding the pattern, okay? I do want the pattern to go the same way all the way across. So what I did was I cut a piece that was as wide as I needed it, which for the mats is 3.5 inches. And then I'm going to cut the first one. So I'm going to need two that are 2.5 inches. So we'll start right here. Now, if I want these to line up, like all the way around, I would cut them in order, but I don't really care too much. So 2.5. And that's 2 at 2.5 by 3.5. And then I need one at 2.5 by 3/4. 3.5 by 2/4, and then I need another one that is 3.5 by 1.25. All right. So that's it. That's our 4 pieces of mat. And we're just going to bring our box back in. We'll get rid of the clamps. And we're going to get out our glue. So the first piece we're going to mat is going to be right here on the front. Now I made the mat so that you have about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. So we're just going to go ahead. You can round these corners or keep them, you know, square. The only one you should round is the one on the front flap because that you've already rounded. So I'm just going to put some glue on here. Making sure I get it all the way around the edges. And then I'm just going to mount this, making sure that I have my design going in the direction that I want. My fingers inside to help press that down. Now I'm not going to worry about putting a mat on the bottom because it's the bottom, but I am going to turn it over. And I'm going to turn it this way because I want to make sure that I have my mats going in the same direction. Okay, so I want my design to go this way. Yeah, that's the right direction. I like it. Doesn't really matter too much with this one, but you don't want to have something that has like trees on it and have your trees be upside down. Okay, so we're just going to be real observant of our pattern. 1/8 of an inch all the way around. Fingers inside. Press that down. Now we have a small piece that goes on the top. We're going to make sure that this one matches. A little bit of glue on this one. This one's going to go on here. Now you'll notice I did actually match this one up. And then we're going to have this one, which is going to go right here. And I'm going to round the corners on this one because I rounded the corners on the front of my box. A little bit of glue. And I'm going to put this on the front. 1/8 of an inch. All the way around. Now, if you wanted to use magnets or Velcro to use as the closure on this, you can certainly do that. So there I have my little box. Now there's one last thing I need to do, and that's to pop a hole here in the front as a finger grip. So I'm going to be using a 1-inch punch. I'm just going to place that in. And on the side of your punches, specifically the ones from the Punch Studio, they have a little arrow here, and that is the midpoint. So when you're doing this, if you put it into your box or whatever, and just line up those 2 pieces, one on either side, and you punch, you'll get a perfect half circle, okay? All right, so now I can put all my ATCs into my box, and I can tuck the lid in right down in the front, and that is going to give me a nice little box to hold my ATCs in. I can do this if I'm going to be sending somebody Valentine's Day or Christmas ATCs, or, you know, tags even. If you wanted to send somebody like a box of gift tags, you can put them in here. Some 2x3 note cards with little envelopes will fit in here. You probably get about 5 note cards and envelopes in there, maybe 6. But just a cute little box that you can use to go ahead and store your ATCs. That's it. That's my quick one for today, guys. I will see you the next time. Until then, the measurements for everything, including the mats, will be in the description box below. Do me a favor, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit the red like button and come on back and check out some more of my videos. Ring my bell and share me with all your friends, because I'm making ATC boxes. Till the next time, guys. Bye-bye.